Hi, this is Billy Joyce from Through the Vines, and today we have with us Philippe and Guillaume Seconde from Champagne Barnaut in Bouzy, and very excited to see you guys today. Welcome.
Thank you, and we are so happy to speak with you after so long time.
Yes. So I came 3 years ago in March of 2017 to your champagne house and vineyard, and Philippe took me around and spent 4 hours with me answering all of my wine geek questions, which was wonderful. And we tasted through most of your entire line in your store. So I'm excited to have you guys here. You make beautiful, beautiful champagne. It is available all over the American market, and so that is very exciting for people to be able to access it. We're going to start off with talking a little bit about the history of your domain and Champagne Barnaut. So if you guys could share that with me, please.
Yes, Barnaut. Here is the 6th generation of Barnaut for winemaking, because our family is a grower since a very, very long time. Only viticulturist, maybe before 60-14. But Edmond Barnaut started to make the first bottle of Champagne Barnaut in 1874. He married with Apolline Godmet-Barancourt in 1873, and the year after they decided to make their champagne. At this time, no growers made champagne. Growers just sell champagne to big brands. But Edmond Barnaut was an interface between big brands and growers, because he had crushers, 14 crushers in Bouzy and Ambonnet, and he crushed the grapes of the growers for making for big brands. The big brands bought those grapes. But sometimes the fermentation begin during the harvest in our cellar in Bouzy, and the big brands said to Edmond Barnaut, please vinify the wine, and we ship the wine just before bottling on the next April. So Edmond Barnaut know how to make champagne, to make wines, not champagne, still wines before bottling. But he said, I have my vineyard. I know how to make basic wines. So I tried to make champagne, and it was in 1874. Maybe he was the first grower to make champagne. Growers made still wines, a small quantity of still red or white wine, but not champagne at this time. And they had a daughter who married with Mr. Seconde, Jules Seconde. So the name changed, but it's always the same family since 1874 for making these bottles of Champagne Barnaut.
Okay, and so how many generations ago is that for you? The first Seconde. Six.
Guillaume is the sixth generation. Yes.
Of Secondes?
But one Barnaut, and after 5 Seconde.
Okay, one Barnaut. Okay, and 5 Seconde. Excellent.
But we always made champagne with the name of Edmond Barnaut.
Yes.
We had different labels year after year. We had Barnaut, Edmond Barnaut, Barnaut and Seconde, Barnaut and Company, and now it's only Barnaut.
Okay. And can you tell me about the wines that you make now, today? What are your core champagnes?
Edmond Barnaut started just by one cuvée, which is Grand Reserve, with the way of perpetual cuvée. It means that every year when we prepare the blend for bottling, we prepare the double of the quantity in tanks of the double of the quantity which will be bottled, and the second part stays to be the reserve for the year after, and we complete with the a large part of the last harvest and two small quantity of two harvests before, and we continue with this style with all our cuvées now. Now we have 8 different cuvées of champagne, but we continue also Grand Reserve, the first cuvée of Edmond Barnaut. So in this cuvée we have, by this system of perpetual cuvée, all the vintage in blend since 1874. When I come back on the estate in 85, 86, my father just made Grand Reserve in Brut, Sec and Demi-Sec. And after I have developed Rosé by Saignée, a Blanc de Noir, Blanc de Blanc, a Brut Nature, etc. But always with this system of perpetual cuvée.
Perpetual.
So, yes. So we have a large panel of cuvée, and we produce that on a small area because I like to express that champagne is not only trademarks, but that's also, and at first, a real vineyard with a very large diversity of soils, subsoils, exposition, and we can make really different styles of wines.
So how large are your vineyard holdings? How many hectares and where?
We have nearly 16 hectares.
Okay.
The very most important part in Grand Cru, especially on Bouzy, and a small plot on Bonnet, and another on Louvois. They touch Bouzy area. We have a plot in Premier Cru, and we have another small vineyard in Vallée de la Marne, on which I have Meunier and Chardonnay. I vinify the Grand Cru, and I sell grapes of Vallée de la Marne, except a part of Chardonnay because I make a very special Blanc de Blanc with a third of Bouzy and 2/3 of Vallée de la Marne. That's unique. This style is very unique. And because I sell grapes, I have quickly money, and I can be crazy for having a very long aging on my Grand Cru.
Okay, that's excellent. So, do you also make a little bit of Bouzy Rouge? Am I right? You make un petit Bouzy,
Yes,
Bouzy Rouge?
Of course, we make a very small quantity because that's well known. Maybe because boozy means drunky. Maybe it's the reason. No, but the real reason is by tradition. By tradition, boozy gives in the middle of the illness. We have a very deep soil and subsoil, and with clay, and we can make stronger wines. And the very sunny years, and now with the climate change, it's nearly every year we can make red wine. But we just make a very small quantity of Bouzy Rouge because it's an expensive wine. When we make a bottle of Bouzy Rouge, we make a bottle of champagne less. And we must we have a special equipment for only a very small quantity. So it's an expensive an expensive wine to make.
Yes.
And so we have some consumers they want only Bouzy Rouge.
Do you mostly sell it locally, or do you export some Bouzy Rouge?
No, we export nearly 85% of our crop, and on the 15%, a large part goes in Belgium, in Europe, because the 15% is sold by our shop. We have a shop in our estate, and not now because with COVID that's difficult, but people come at home from all Europe, but we sell 15% in the shop and 85% directly in nearly 20 countries.
Okay.
And the first market in United States.
Best market, yeah. Well, your wines are all available here, so that's great, in Nashville.
I have a very good memory of Nashville with Deborah, and it was it's a funny town. It
is a good town, a good city. I've been here 26 years, so it's a good city. So tell us a little bit about your vineyard, some of the challenges. You know, you mentioned climate change.
Yes.
And you have had, it seems to me, the last couple of years, you've had some pretty warm springs and summers. Maybe more warm than normal or earlier?
Earlier, no.
Earlier?
Yes. I have seen the changing around between 90 to 95. And very quickly, when I come back in Bouzy, after studying in Burgundy, like Guillaume, it was possible to make a vintage 1 year on 4. But now it's the opposite. You can't make a vintage 1 year on 4. It means that the grapes are really more ripe than before. And now, this year, we begin the harvest between the 25th of August to the 1st of September. Yes, and it's the third time on the 10 last years. When I was a young boy, my parents says my parents say to the consumer, if you want to see the harvest, you can come at the end of September or beginning of October.
That's
Yes.
a large difference of time.
Yes, yes. But now, until today, that's good for the quality of the wine. Our problem before was to have too low ripe grapes. Now, I think we have a good balance of wines, and especially if you stay the natural grass in the vineyard, and if the roots go deeply in the soil, we have more minerality. We have more minerals and salts in the wine, and this we say in French salinité, salty taste.
Yes.
Salty taste balance the wine because we have less acid than before, and we have less acid wines, but salty and more complex wines. No. But it would be good if it stopped now, but that isn't sure.
So what do you see? So Guillaume, this might be for you because you are the next generation coming up. What do you see as one of the challenges? What are you learning in school as far as one of the challenges for Champagne as a region and the grapes that are grown and maybe the way the wine is made? What are some of the challenges?
We must to change our different techniques. The space between the yield or different technique to extract some grapes is very different. Or go to different style of agriculture, like biologic, organic agriculture. So yeah, we must to change our techniques. It's very important.
The way you farm.
Yeah, exactly.
Agriculture. Are you changing? Are you starting that process to organic?
Yeah, for the next year, I think I begin the reconversion in organic agriculture, I think.
Yes, we are discuss about this, and I said to Guillaume, it will be your first challenge on the estate to have the conversion in organic culture.
And do you think that Champagne, what about the varieties that are grown? Do you think, for example, Bordeaux has allowed some different varieties that are being grown for Bordeaux AOC? Do you think that Champagne will end up changing some of the grape varieties that are growing there in the future? Is that something that
it's a question. The CIVC is
do you know CIVC? CIVC.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this organization this organization
committee.
um, is preparing with an experimental area in Champagne with different grape variety, different style of culture. So maybe in 30, 40, 50 years, maybe we change the grape variety. Maybe.
This program is for 20 years.
20 years. Okay.
Because it's necessary to select the varieties, try different varieties, select it, try the results in the wines for many years, and after develop the volume of plants. And it's very hard because in Champagne, with the new varietals, we must change the way of planting the plants, larger than before, etc. New material, new machines, etc. And it's a complete conversion.
Yeah.
That is not only change plant by plant. That's a complete conversion.
Yes. Very, very complex.
It's a revolution like phylloxera. We compare with phylloxera.
Really? Yeah. Well, that took many years. Many years to start after, right? So yes. I know it's definitely challenging with everything getting warmer. So there's your first challenge, then, Guillaume.
Yeah, exactly.
Will you be planting your vines then further apart or closer together, or will that change with replanting? Philippe, if I remember correctly, you plant when there's a dead vine, you replant in the middle of the vineyard, right? You don't wipe out and then replant. You plant as needed. So will you be changing? Do you have to change the density, or the training system? It's Cordon de Royat, but
it isn't easy to imagine the future, but I think we replace step by step the vineyard, and the style, I think, could change. The style of the wine could change.
Yes.
But gently, year after year, and consumer. I don't know if consumer
is ready.
No. Can really determine the changing.
Yeah. Well, if it takes that many years, then the consumer hopefully will develop alongside. You know, you won't be selling to 70-year-old champagne drinkers in 30 years, probably. You know what I mean? It'd be a different consumer.
Maybe. But the wine with the phylloxera, the style of the wine changed, and with the different techniques, the wine also changed. But
how is it in your area, and how has it impacted you, COVID-19?
The impact of COVID-19? Yes. For us, all is stopped now. Not in the vineyard. We continue to work in the vineyard, but we don't have business now, non-business. That's for now. But we have seen in France that people have discovered a new style of life during COVID. People bought less small thing and concentrate on the higher quality, and for us now it's a nightmare because we don't sell one bottle. We have sold some bottles because we have made a special direct sale to European consumers directly, but it's a one shot. But I think French people now maybe is more ready to drink better champagnes, high level champagnes, maybe less in quantity, but more in quality. I don't know what is the reaction in the other in foreign countries. We see that before Christmas, but now I don't know. I have an order today, an order for Italia. Italia was very strongly attacked by COVID. Everything was stopped. It's the economy in Italia is out, but people drink a lot of champagne. But they make prosecco, but they drink champagne. That's a that's a good news.
Yeah. Well, they don't have that much traditional method.
Sorry?
They don't make that much traditional method sparkling wine like champagne. Franciacorta. Yeah.
Franciacorta.
Yeah. But well, that's good. Have you been able to? How about the U.S.? Any exports to the U.S. in the last couple of months?
Sorry?
Any exports to the U.S., America?
No. It stopped since the beginning of COVID. Yeah, because the champagne, all the quantity of champagne, nearly all the quantity of champagne at the end is sold by restaurants or shops, and everywhere in the world, shops and restaurants are closed.
You and your family are fine during this time?
Yes. We are safe. Yes.
Okay.
We are in the just between two very hard areas for COVID. The east, the east of France and the Paris area, and Champagne. Champagne was medium attacked by COVID.
Okay.
But we were in Bouzy. You have seen our clos, and you were in the clos, and
yes.
Okay, and safe.
Yes. So when I was there, Philippe, you were possibly making a wine in 2017 that was a grand wine with several other winemakers or other producers. Grand Cru.
Yes.
Did
Yes.
make that?
Yeah, we have made our third bottling three weeks ago. Yes,
Oh,
and it's a very nice experience. And on Thursday, I go to have the definitive design of the label. Yes, we are 15 growers, and we make a cuvée with only the 17 Grand Cru for the same parts of each Grand Cru in the cuvée. We make a press of 4,000 kilograms, a traditional press of champagne, and we make and we sell after 1,500 magnums, only in magnums.
only
And yes, and the first was vintage 17, and it was a nice symbol, vintage 17 for the 17 Grand Cru. So the name of the cuvée is C, like cuvée C17.
Ah, so is that sold exported or only in France? Only at
No. We just finished the first reservation because all is reserved. In 3 weeks, all the first vintage is reserved, and a small quantity for France, but instead Japan,
okay.
Nordic countries, all around the world.
So
Because the 15 growers knows many people in all the other countries, and it was easy to sell it. Yes.
so vintage 59 will have it? Deborah?
Sorry?
Deborah will have some?
I don't know. I don't know. I am not sure.
Okay.
Maybe, but I am not sure.
Okay. Be interesting to taste it. So I asked this question of everybody, and I'm going to ask both of you separately because you're different generations. So, what is your most poignant or your best memory of drinking a wine that is not your own wine? Not necessarily Barnaut, but just a wine memory that was
that's difficult question because
so many, I'm sure, but
there are many occasions to drink.
just one that sticks out in your mind.
Maybe the best memory is not a famous bottle. No, that's a Barnaut, but not my Barnaut. For me, I was 7, 8. I don't remember exactly, and I was with my father in the cellar during the winter, and my father want to know if malolactics was done or not, and he has taken a bottle of a sample in a tank, and we come back at home, and he put the wine on the cooker to rewarm the wine, and I wanted to smell the wine, and I put the nose in the wine. but I remember that I was 7 or 8, I remember the wine, the nose of the wine, and maybe it's after this that I decided to continue the estate, because after I always wanted to taste the wine with my father, and I think it's for me it's my best memory of tasting.
That's great. That's merci. And okay, so Guillaume and yourself, it obviously has to have your father involved. I'm just kidding.
I think it's the moment, the first wine, when you taste the first wine is very in good impression. But I think my favorite moment it's in Burgundy during my internship in Château Cartoncé in Aros Carton.
Okay.
And
Consumer?
a consumer want to buy a very famous wine in the estate, and he bought Champagne Musini 1947.
Oh, wow.
And he
Grand Cru?
Grand Cru, yeah, exactly. And he taste this wine with his woman, his wife, in the garden of the castle, and with my
Colleague?
my colleague. He put 2 glasses of this wine on the bar, and he say, "Thank you for this moment, and you can taste this wine." And it's very I can't put words on this wine. It's very expressive, and yeah, I think it's my favorite moment.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great. How long now? You are in wine business school now,
Yeah,
and you're following your father's footsteps. You took enology already in Bonn.
no, not in Bonn,
Not
in
in Bonn,
Avis,
in
Champagne.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. 2 years in Avis,
Avise.
as to, yeah, for viticulture and enology. And this year, 1 year, on in Bonn, on INSEC, it's a business school in wine, with an internship in Alos Carton, in Château Carton.
Excellent. So when did you decide you wanted to continue the family business?
Yeah,
How old were you? What was that? But you're not.
It's
You're going to work for the neighbor.
during the okay. It's during the harvest. I was
Before.
yeah, just before the harvest. I was
10?
10, yeah, 9, 10 years old, and I was with my father, and we come on the in the cellar, and I put the and the father.
You put your hand in the mine?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I fix very direct, and I say, I want to become
A grower.
a grower, just like that, and
Oh,
it's a very emotional moment.
I imagine. Wow. So that was when you were 10, 9 or 10. So
Yeah.
and that is wonderful. And you never changed your mind during that time?
Never,
Never? That's
never.
wonderful.
We try to do for him because we don't wanted with my wife. We not wanted that it could be an obligation for Guillaume. So he was 10, and we said to him, "No, the next year you go to study in Reims. You'll have other friends, and the parents have other jobs, etc. And you can discover different other jobs." But 3 months after, just before Christmas, my wife said for another time to Guillaume,
Are you sure?
maybe are you sure now to be grower, but you can change, etc. And Guillaume at 10 says like that, Mom, Dad, it's finished now. I have decided.
That is great. And no regrets so far?
No,
No.
no regrets. No regrets.
So,
It's a passion.
pardon me?
It's a real passion
Ah,
for him.
that's excellent. Passion is important.
Yeah.
So, coming up, how will you be opening your store this summer at all for any tourism? How is the region kind of opening up after COVID?
We have prepared the after COVID because we have organized the shop with glasses on the bar,
Okay.
limits in the shop, etc. Distributor of hydroalcoholic solution, etc., etc. And now by Facebook, by email, we are saying to consumers that we are ready to welcome them and offer very safe testing.
By appointment only? Is it only by appointment? No? No? Okay.
No, we prefer, but if people is driving in Bouzy and see the shop, but with the limit, of course, with the limit of
Right.
number limit of people.
Do you think that this summer, the French will travel more in France?
We hope so, but today is the first day of we said the confinement, breaking
Yes.
confinement.
Oh,
Yes.
today? Okay.
So we don't know. Today we don't know.
Yeah.
French people want to have holidays and visit, etc. But we hope they come in Bouzy and especially at home. In our region and at our family, they don't want to go in the hotel or camping,
Right.
or that they want to go in family. Yes.
Family, yes. That's nice. So, well, thank you very much. I really appreciate you joining. I know the connection hasn't been the best, but everything on this side sounds very, very good. So that's just kind of an aside. So I'm going to officially thank you so that I have it on camera. But don't go, but don't leave, okay? So thank you very much. Philippe and Guillaume for joining us today and telling us about Champagne Barnaut. And hopefully within a year, everything will be heading back to a more normal place. And we can all come and visit you again. That would be wonderful.
Face to face.
Face to face.
Face to face.
Yes, face to face.
We hope,
Exactly.
we hope so, but it was a real pleasure to welcome you in Bouzy by video.
Bye. Thank you.